channel, everybody. And I guess first and foremost, I want to put not an apology out, but kind of just a quick update, I guess. Yeah, look, I mean, we've been maybe 3 weeks without real content on the channel, so yeah, apologies for that. But I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm kind of in the headset that I really want to make content again, which I think is a lot more important. Previously, there was a break. I didn't really feel overly enthused about jumping right back into the content, but I guess it's a lot of progress that I really want to make content again. I really want to get talking about United again. Maybe it's just because the international break's over. Maybe it's just because there's a lot of talking points. But yeah, look, I'm going to say we're pretty much back now. I'm going to be on Saturday, Sunday this week. I'm going to be on the agenda tonight. Going to jump right back into the thick of it. So looking forward to that. And I guess we'll get everything started. So, bit of an injury crisis at Manchester United at the minute. I got Luman in the comments. Big ups to him. Big ups to everybody dropping the likes as well. Much appreciated. But yeah, look, certainly a little bit of an injury crisis at Manchester United. Kobe Mainoo's out for the rest of October, probably into November. Harry Maguire's injured, of course. Ugarte, potential injury concern there. Injuries across the board. It's starting to pile up a little bit. And when we're not in good form, when our football hasn't been particularly good, and the manager's on thin ice, I feel like this is probably the last thing that Ten Hag wants. His job, I'm not too sure about the current safety of his job. I really can't be. I'm sure he isn't either. I thought that he was going to be gone over the international break. I really did. And when we had this big meeting between Radcliffe, the Glazers, and all the board members, I thought that that was the approach that was going to get took, that we would be getting rid of Erik Ten Hag. It's not happened. Other managers have moved on. Thomas Tuchel is now the England manager. That's another big manager off the board. That's starting to narrow things down in terms of the managerial pool out there. I mean, there's Nagelsmann. Can you get him out of Germany? There's Thomas Frank, who we're talking about. Amarin's another potential, I guess. But I don't know, it does kind of feel like we're going to give Erik Ten Hag the season at this point unless things start to go really, really badly. But look, we're going to get looking at these injury crisis, guys. It's not looking particularly good on that front. So Manuel Ugarte undertook a recovery session today, having just returned from international duty. Tyrell Malacia participated in the first group session today as well. Mount and Luke Shaw are recovering and continuing their recovery as well, making steady progress. Kobe Mainoo and Harry Maguire are out for a couple of weeks. So that's, again, more frustration. Maguire's been pretty good. Rick's down there. It's good to see him. What have they won yet? What are we talking about? I'm not too sure what that's about, Rick, man. Maybe I missed something there. But yeah, look, Mazraoui is back. So conflicting reports. Look, there was talk about potential cardiac issues with Mazraoui. He's back in training today. So obviously it's nothing too major. Garnacho and Amad Diallo are now back in training as well, having missed matches for their countries over the international break. I'm not too bothered about that at all. Hopefully they're back and can at least add something. We're coming up against Brentford at the weekend. It's going to be a tough match. Look, Brentford's scoring a lot of goals. They've been a really interesting team to watch this season. Like, I've noticed this a lot, that they do tend to be scoring a lot of goals. I think their last match was like 5-3 or something like that. United have scored 3 times less goals than Brentford this season. So I don't know, like, scoring goals has been such an issue for us for such a long time. It's really, really been a big problem for us, and that's something we really got to correct, because it's not been fun watching United recently. Like, there's no doubt about it whatsoever. Maybe for the neutral, matches like Porto and stuff, the 3-3, yeah, that's probably exciting, but it's not good for us fans, watching us struggle to score goals or score goals and then concede too many goals. The balance has just never really been there, and it's just frustrating, guys. It really is. But Manu's a big one to be missing out on. That's probably going to change the midfield for the weekend. I'm not too sure what that's going to look like. I wouldn't expect to see Ugarte play as well, so probably Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. It's pretty slow midfield. We've gone with that midfield a few times this season already, but I'm not enthused about it. I'm really not. And the match against Brentford's going to be an interesting one at the weekend. I personally can't see us winning. Like that's frustrating. And I know that they're mid-table as well, Brentford, but they're scoring goals. We're just not scoring enough at all across the board. And that for me is a big frustration whenever I'm watching United at the minute. It's one of those things. It's like we're not even fun to watch. We've always seemed to score Struggle to score goals with Erik Ten Hag. And look, we go in at the weekend in 14th place currently in the Premier League. Now, I know that there's only been 7 matches for United, but 8 points from 7 matches, it's not a good return. It's really not. 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. We've only scored 5 goals. We've conceded 8 goals as well. That definitely puts us towards the bottom of the league as well in terms of goals scored. Palace on 5, Southampton on 4 have scored less than us, and I think that might be the only 2 teams in the entire league who've scored less goals than Manchester United. So Palace and Southampton, 18th and 19th place respectively. So we're not scoring. Goals conceded, 8 goals. It's not great either. We're scoring less than a goal a game. We're conceding a goal a game. Obviously, the Liverpool match would have added to that sort of tally. But is there signs for optimism? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I think if we had lost against Porto and it was a 94th, 95th minute equaliser in that match, if we had lost against Aston Villa, which we might have, they had chances in there. There was a real good block from Dallo, I think, on the day as well. Would Erik Ten Hag be in a job right now? Are these defined margins? I'm not too sure, and it certainly is very, very frustrating as well, just watching us at the minute. But we'll see how we get on. Maybe we'll come back from the international break. Maybe we'll hit the ground running. Maybe we can start to pick up some wins. The next few matches are pretty winnable in my opinion. I don't think that we have the worst run of matches. We play Brentford at home. On paper, we should win that match. Away to Fenerbahce, that'll be difficult. West Ham haven't been in great form either. As of late, we play Leicester City after that. We play PAOK. We play Leicester City again. We play Ipswich, Bodo Glimt, Everton. That's the next run of matches. There's certainly matches we can be winning there. We should be beating Everton. We should be beating Ipswich, Leicester City in the League Cup and in the league. We should be winning those matches. We should be beating PAOK. You probably go to Fenerbahce and take a draw. Yeah, I feel like that's probably acceptable. And then of course Brentford at the weekend. But Brentford, they'll definitely cause us issues, and they're seemingly not missing Ivan Toney too much in terms of scoring goals and stuff. They're 11th in the league at the minute. Had a 5-3 win against Wolves last time out. Their matches have been high scoring. United conceding quite a few goals, not scoring enough. It'll be an interesting match for sure, because I'm positive Brentford will be happy enough with sitting back and just taking a point at Old Trafford. They'll try to hit us in the break. I got Jarl down there. Good day, buddy. Can't point the finger at the medical. This time we got a new medical. What has not changed is Ten Hag's training. I'm also baffled by what Ineos are doing. Yeah, look, I would agree with you, Jarl. Honestly, man, like, I think it's very, very, very frustrating just watching us at the minute. And I do think a lot of it is down to Erik Ten Hag. Like, I don't think that keeping him on so far has paid off in any real meaningful way, shape, or form. I really don't. Maybe we'll be proved wrong. Maybe, but it is our worst ever start to a Premier League season. We beat last year's record for being the worst ever start to a Premier League season in terms of points. So it's not been good. It hasn't been good. I don't think there's any excuses. I don't think there's any way to spin it into a positive or any kind of reprieve or excuse at this point. Like last season, yeah, look, you can point towards the injuries, but we've had 7 league matches, we've had 2 Europa League matches, we've had a Carabao Cup match, I think, as well, and most of those have been with full strength teams available. Yeah, okay, we beat Barnsley 7-0. That's long gone at this point. It was Barnsley. We said at the time that if this is a confidence builder for our forwards, then yeah, that's good. But I mean, we're only ever playing against a League One team. That was the level of Barnsley, and that is the level of Barnsley, and that's kind of the only positive match that we've had for most of the season. Results wise, look, we come into this in not the best form. A draw against Porto, a draw against Aston Villa, and a defeat against Tottenham, which again was just an embarrassing performance. But across the board, guys, we've won 3 matches this season. We've beat Southampton, we've beat Fulham, and we've beat Barnsley. Those are the 3 matches we have won out of our first 10. We're midway through October. I think genuinely in the next couple of matches on paper, in terms of what we should be doing, we should be beating Brentford. We should hopefully get a result against Fenerbahce away in Turkey. That'll be difficult. Mourinho will definitely be relishing that match. And knowing our luck, Fred will probably score against us. West Ham have not had a good start to the Premier League season. We could and should be at least hoping for a point in that one, hopefully a win. Leicester City in the League Cup, again, we should be beating them. PAOK, we should be beating them. Leicester City in the league, we should be beating them. We should be beating Ipswich. We should be beating Bodo Glimt. We should be beating Everton on current form. And look, then we play Arsenal away. Okay, away to the Emirates, we're not getting anything there. I would be stunned if we do. But then we play Forest. We could and should probably beat Forest on paper. We should be beating Victoria Pelton. We should at least be beating Bournemouth at home. Away to Wolves can be difficult, but we should be at least picking up a point there. And then we play Newcastle, we play Liverpool. Those are difficult matches over the festive period. And then I guess we're into January. We're looking at Southampton, Brighton, Rangers, Fulham, FCSB, Crystal Palace as well. Look, these are all matches that we should be going out there and winning. And really, there's no excuse. Big up to Bath Time and actual Stefan live stream. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get back into it. I said at the start of the show that genuinely I just had very little motivation to actually make content, and I didn't really want to force myself to either, because I do love the channel and I do love doing the shows and stuff, and I love coming on here and talking about United and everything, but I just feel like if I don't want to do it, that kind of just forcing myself to do it just wasn't good anyway. But I really wanted to come on here today. I really want to come on Saturday. I really want to come on Sunday, so I'm going to do that there. And I think that's probably just the way I'm going to work it moving forward, because it's a long day for me. I leave the house at 7. I get back at 7, so it's a 12-hour day basically, 13-hour day by the time I get up as well. So it's kind of like 13 and a half hours before I'm able to come on. So if I really don't want to do it, like it's just one of those things where it's like I'm going to end up hating something that I do actually really like. And that I do really enjoy. So I'm just looking for that balance. I'm not really taking things too seriously. I know it's been a pretty quiet stream tonight. I know that tomorrow I'll probably not stream, but I will stream on Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, like, it's not about the views. It's not about the likes or the subs or anything. Like, everybody hopping in, that's really appreciated. But I do want to come on and just sort of talk a bit of shit about United as well. Bath time, yeah, I have zero motivation to do an eye test content anymore. I get it. Yeah, man, it's one of those ones. And to be fair, last season I managed to do very consistent content, so people can't call me out and say, "Oh, you only do it whenever United's playing well." I at least have that hill to go die on that I suffered through last season. I watched start to finish the 4-0 loss at Selhurst Park last year on live stream. That's still up there. That's 2.5 hours of my life I'll never get back. So we can't hold that against me. But yeah, look, it's an interesting match against Brentford. They're scoring quite a lot of goals, 3 times more goals than us this season, but that's not really hard. There's only 2 teams in the league who've scored less than us, and it's Palace and Southampton. I mean, Ipswich have maybe scored more goals than us this season, which isn't great. And that's kind of the level that United's playing at, at the minute. Let me see. Ipswich have scored 6 and we have scored 5. Bath time is kind of Dante's purgatory. Yeah, it's one of those, man. It's just like I feel like we're doing Groundhog Day. I feel like this is just a repeat of last season. And man, we were in the dregs last season. And I don't know. Like I said during the show, my own thoughts. I said a few minutes ago that from a personal level, that I'm yet to see a single benefit of keeping Ten Hag on. I don't get it. Like, I thought I'll give you my thoughts across the entire tenureship. I was excited after the first season. I think he came in, did the job he had to do. We won a trophy. I think we finished 3rd in the league. And I was like, yeah, do you know what? Okay, he hasn't got his full team yet. He hasn't really got us playing the way that he would want. Probably doesn't have the players to do so. It's understandable. And I was very much of the opinion that second season would take that step forward. We would move towards trying to see more of the style of play that we think that he wants, that he's going to try implement. Obviously, last season was an absolute disaster, and I do feel like injuries contributed to that. But I do think there was an underlying issue that the basic fundamentals just were not there. I think he was exceptionally lucky to survive June and into July to even get this season. And this season, there's been very, very little improvement, very little actual tangible results on the pitch in terms of goal scoring. Yeah, maybe we've conceded a few less goals and a few less chances, but I mean, there's only so much we can gloss up 3 wins out of 10 matches, and those 3 wins being Fulham on the first day, where it was a late winner, Southampton, who you're probably going to get relegated this year, and League One Barnsley in the in the EFL Cup. That it's pretty much impossible to try spin that into anything meaningful. But he's seemingly going to get given more time. I would suspect we will probably be sitting talking about Erik Ten Hag's long-term future once we get into the next international break. I'm not too sure when that's going to be. Probably sometime in November, I think. There's a September, October, and November one. And then I think beyond that there, it's January's the next one or something like that. Let me see if I can just look ahead. Yeah, I think this year is probably it here. So 10th of November, we play Leicester City, and then we play Ipswich 2 weeks later. So that gives us Brentford. We should be, on paper, expecting to beat Brentford. Fenerbahce away, that can be a difficult match. You probably take a point. You would have took that whenever the draw came out. West Ham, they've not had a good start to the season. We should be beating them. Leicester City in the League Cup, we should be beating them. Chelsea at home, that'll be difficult. They're playing really well. They're scoring a lot of goals. PAOK, we should be beating. And Leicester City, we should be beating. So, out of those there, we probably should be winning 4 out of the next 7. 5 out of the next 7, maybe. If we go into the international break with a League Cup win over Leicester City and 1 win in the Premier League out of those matches, I don't see how you can be kept on. I really don't at that point. Let's see, bath time. Anyone but Amanda Ten Hag in? I doubt it, man. Who's a bigger letdown, Ten Hag or Ineos? Probably Ten Hag. I'm not going to say Ineos are a letdown. I get what they're doing. I don't think keeping Ten Hag on was the right decision. I don't think extending his contract was the right decision either, because they've doubled the firing cost, which isn't good. But I don't know. Like, I'm going to give Ineos time to turn them around. I was very, very much on board for Ineos coming in over the summer. The people who they've brought in, I'm very happy with, and I think the long-term direction will be good. But it's one of these things. It's like on the pitch we're heading down the wrong direction. So at what point do we stop and change the driver and turn around and start facing the right way? Because we know where we want to be. We've got the people there who can probably help to get us there, but I just don't think Ten Hag is going to get us to where we want to be. I really don't. Look, who knows? Maybe we go 7 from 7. That would be a nice thought. I don't think anyone thinks we can do that. I don't even think Ten Hag would think that. I don't even think a Monday would say that as well. Bath time, maybe we could do Have I Got News for You each week and just have a different manager. It wouldn't get any worse. It's like he's got plot armor. Yeah, it's literally like that. We're going through the trials and tribulations. I don't know. Maybe he's got the one ring, and Radcliffe just can't just destroy him until he takes him to Mount Doom or something. I don't know. I don't know what the plot armor is. Anyway, Jarl's down there right now. There's big holes in Ineos' boat. They're starting to sink. The first thing they can do is just fix the sinking is remove Ten Hag as fast as possible. I wouldn't say it's sinking. Look, I would say if you're sitting in 2-3 years time and there's been no tangible progress on the pitch, we've come to another manager cycle, the transfers have been bad, the profitability of the club is bad, there's been no real success, then I think maybe you can question Ineos. But we have had like I'm trying to even remember when the Glazers came into the club. Almost 20 years, probably 20 years or so, of utter neglect, papered up and covered up by Ferguson's achievements on the pitch by a team that was largely in place before the Glazers got here. Um, you're seeing the progress of that. So if it's took 20 years for it to get this bad, it's going to take more than 3 or 4 months for things to start going right again. That's pretty much the upshot of the situation that I'm looking at this point in time. But I do think that, yeah, I would like to see some more decisive action. I think removing Ten Hag at some point this season, if things do not pick up, I think that's a given. I think that's unnegotiable, non-negotiable. That is something that has to happen if we are sitting in the next international break in about 5 weeks' time, I think, and things haven't improved. We've got 7 matches, 5 weeks. If we're sitting there still with a minus goal difference, if we haven't won at least 2 out of the next 4 Premier League matches, which are again against Brentford, West Ham, Leicester City, and Chelsea, then I think you got serious questions to ask. He should be gone. If we cannot pick up 2 wins out of those 4 matches, probably looking at Leicester at home, that has to be a winnable match. And then you look at Brentford or West Ham, you have to win one of those matches. If we haven't picked up a result or 3 points in the Europa League, are we even going to get out of this thing? I don't even know how the computations work. We play Leicester in the League Cup. Like, I personally don't think if we finish 8th position again, have the worst ever league finish and win a trophy, be it the EFL Cup or the FA Cup, that Erik Ten Hag should be kept on. He really shouldn't have been kept on the basis of that there, in my opinion. Rajat says Ten Hag's a good coach. I don't think he's an idiot. I don't know if he is as bad as the results we're seeing on the pitch, but it's clearly not working out. He clearly can't get his message into the players. He clearly cannot translate what he had at Ajax to bring that over to Manchester United. And I know that there's always talk about about Ten Hag's Ajax, and we say this from people who are Ten Hag in. Most Ajax fans said towards the end of the tenure things were starting to go wrong, that the football wasn't good, that it was illogical, and they were questioning him, as well at that point. So I don't know. I really don't know. I do feel like this is a bad time to sack a manager, but I'm also like, you do need to put down some kind of a marker, some kind of a standard. So we will see what happens. It's going to be an interesting 5 weeks until we get to that point, until after Leicester City on the 10th of November. So it's going to be a really, really interesting few weeks until that point. Obviously, that is probably the last time you can sack a manager before you start to look maybe at the next international break, realistically. And I think the next international break, I do think there's a decent break in January. That could be something. And I think Bathtime pointed that out, that between Liverpool and Southampton, we have an 11-day break. So that could be another one, maybe. And then if it gets to March time and he's still here, he'll probably see the season out regardless, of how things are actually going on the pitch. But perhaps he shouldn't. I don't know. Like, we play Leicester City again the 15th of March, and then we are off till April Fool's Day. If we keep Ten Hag and we go to Nottingham Forest and we lose 3-0, then maybe we will be the Fools. Who knows? Rajat said McTominay not good enough. I mean, McTominay's doing okay at Napoli. I think he was a useful player. I get why we sold him for the FFP reasons, but I just think there was far better players who could have went out there and got there instead of Manuel Ugarte. If we went out and got someone who genuinely would have fitted what we needed better, I would have understood it. But it doesn't feel like an upgrade to me. It doesn't. Let's see. I fell asleep during the Villa game. Never fallen asleep for a United game before. This manager and the clown players, Manu and Garnacho, was both hurt and they were played. Yeah, but I'm not surprised. At that time, looking at Ugarte, I was genuinely shocked we were going all out for him. Yeah, I had those concerns as well. I think that you got a tenacious player there who will make a lot of tackles, but his on the ball work is just not good enough, man. It's far from good enough in terms of technical quality, and for that there, you could have just went and got Fred. I don't know. If you wanted someone just to run about and make tackles, you could have just went and kept Fred. I I genuinely don't know, but there's other players out there who I think maybe we could or should have went to. Rajat said he's like Nottingham Forest level. I know some my friend said to me he plays like a West Ham midfielder, and I'm like, Joe, I could definitely imagine him in in beside Thomas Suchek, and I'm like, right, is this your guy like the Edson Alvarez that we wanted to sell before that? Bathheim said his tackling technique is rubbish, can't slow down in time, he's just going to foul non-stop. Maybe. Jarl said too small to do the job, that's why I like Berg instead. I mean, Berg wouldn't have been bad. Like, genuinely would not have been bad. I would actually maintain that. But I don't know. I don't know. I just know that against Fenerbahce, we're going to see a joint masterclass from Fred and from Sofian Amrabat. That's 100% going to happen. That's almost guaranteed to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I will have to go buy a hat and eat it on live stream just to prove my point. Honestly, I will. I will. But yeah, look, guys, I think this is pretty much going to do us for the stream here tonight. So I'm going to be live again on Saturday. I'll do a post-match reaction stream on Saturday. So if anybody wants to join in for that, make sure to tune in. And I'll probably do another stream on Sunday as well, just because I'm feeling like, I'm feeling like making content again. I'm feeling good about it. But I am on the United agenda at 9 o'clock, so do make sure to hop on over there. I think Bathheim is on, and I think Dora is going to be on as well. Maybe Amonda or Mr. B. I'm not too sure. I'll have to go check things out. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go and get a quick drink. I'm going to go maybe grab something to eat as well, and I'll see you all at 9 o'clock.